I will start today with a simple question. Why is the Bhagavad Gita so relevant to our modern times? Why are you listening to me? I believe in the question lies the answer. Surprisingly, the knowledge is as practical and relevant today as it was in the era of Mahabharata. The world today is drowned in an ocean of sorrow and struggling to come out of it. Every second person we meet is either in a state of anxiety or depression, constantly complaining about life. We still seek worldly objects which we believe strongly can bring in happiness. Now, this desire is not just limited to food or shelter, but the mind craves for more and more. That sensational pleasure that we want, the pursuit associated with senses at a physical, emotional, and intellectual level. The source of every single pain and sorrow is attachment and fear. We are constantly attached to our near and dear ones: my father, my sister, my daughter, my grandfather, my friends, my social circle, my family circle. That we simply do not see that our circle of actions have to include humanity on a whole. It is because of this narrow thought that our actions in personal and professional life are so biased. We are afraid of uncertainties which may happen to our near and dear ones, and when that happens, we simply do not know what to do. Arjuna was also in the same state of mind in the battlefield when the teachings of Gita were given to him by Lord Krishna. His mind was clouded with attachment and fear. He was grieving because his near and dear ones were going to die. This is my uncle, that is my brother, I should not be doing this, I should not be doing that. There was lack of role clarity, and he was not able to take the right decision because his mind was clouded with fear. Now, Lord Krishna, in the middle of the battlefield, gave him the knowledge of Gita and motivated him to follow the path of Dharma by understanding his role and to act accordingly without getting affected with his emotions. It simply does not mean that the Bhagavad Gita advocates war and violence. I believe it is a call for each one of us to get up and fight the battle of our own life accordingly. The stronger we are from within, more efficiently you will be able to fight against your own negative emotions: fear, attachment, insecurity, jealousy, anger. Oh, the list is endless. I believe you should be able to take the tough decisions of your life effectively. I repeat, when I talk about Arjuna the warrior, think about yourself in the current situation. I think we can safely understand the Bhagavad Gita is and always will be relevant in all the times. And the beauty about this question is, you do not need Google or any other platform to get this fact verified. Look into your life very carefully. Look into your situations. That is the battlefield. You are Arjuna. Chapter 1. The ongoing dialogue between Arjuna and the Krishna in the Gita is when Arjuna requests Krishna to take him right to the center of the battlefield so that he can look at the army that he has to fight with. Now, Arjuna is the archer who is known for his concentration and focus. He is requesting Lord Krishna to take him to see his enemies, these people with whom he has grown up or was brought up by. Krishna introduces every important member of that enemy, and he explains to Arjuna the good and bad of every person. Now that throws Arjuna into a world of confusion. He's filled with anxiety. He's not being able to make the choice between good and bad. Similarly, Would you agree that each one of us are living in the world of confusion and we are not able to make that right choice? Often, when we do make a choice, we simply are not ready to face the consequences of our choices. Now, Arjuna was not ready to kill his grandfather, his teachers, his brother, and other family members because he was not ready to live a life without them. Arjuna, the greatest archer ever, showed his mental weakness right there in the middle of the battlefield. This is an important lesson for all of us to learn, that we need to accept we all have weaknesses, and recognizing it and barring ourselves in front of a trusted person is so necessary for each one of us to heal. Reference to sin is made in chapter 1. Now, sin is any act that creates an obstruction or obstacle between the human body and the ability to connect with the inner self or God or consciousness. Apparently, it may seem that Krishna, God Himself, encourages a war. Krishna could have easily brought peace by slaying only Duryodhana, the root cause of the war, instead of lakhs of soldiers and great warriors having to lay down their life. But one must understand that human beings value only those things for which one pays a price. When we get anything so easily, we simply do not see its importance. In the current pandemic situation, people have begun to value relationships, togetherness, and health after witnessing loss of various kinds. In order to cherish and treasure something, one must lose something else or pay a heavy price for it. In failure only can one learn to climb the steps to success.